Wealthy people of Reddit. What's something normal for you that the rest of us will never experience? No longer rich. But when flying on a private jet there are no lines whatsoever. You get to the airport, get on board and fly away. You can be in the air in 10 minutes. You arrive and a car is waiting for you. I sense an interesting story in your past. I sense a sad story. The ups and downs of Bitcoin. Unexpected expenses are irritating, not devastating. That is something that should apply to upper middle class and even regular middle class if they are managing their finances correctly. I'm upper low class and I have money and assets I can liquidate for a no shit fund. Edit. According to articles I'm middle class. Are you working a trade? Do you have a reasonable expectation that you get to retire? That's really the line. Once you've got a cushion. There are real psychological benefits. I was well off growing up, not top 0.1% private jet level wealthy, but top 1%. For me, a big thing was not having to worry about student loan payments. Even if I wanted to be a PhD or MD. This isn't to say I could do whatever I want without caring what the salary is. Because I had to support myself once I graduated college throughout my 20s. But not having student debt allowed me to have more disposable income. Go out to nice places. And travel every now and then at that time in my life. And I guess psychologically made me feel a little less trapped than some. I also had the luxury of knowing that if I ever needed some financial help in a bind, I had access to it. Even though asking for it would still be embarrassing as hell. It guaranteed I could maintain good credit. And that was another psychological benefit. My friend is in your situation, though you sound quite a bit more humble and diligent about it. Meanwhile he's on his 12th year of undergrad and talks down to people that have to take out loans. Is your friend Van Wilder? Making large purchases with cash. Recently bought machinery for our business. About $500,000 worth. And being able to pay with cash, as in no finance, means if we hit hard times in the next few years there will be no repayments I need to worry about. Which in turn frees up future earnings for savings/other purchases. As an average Joe, this thread makes me a little depressed. The wealthy get to enjoy a side of life I dream of. Not having to worry about money or financial constraints seems like a beautiful thing. At least you never have to worry about people liking it for your money. Never heard of a bronze digger? People asking you why you work. I have wealthy parents. Whenever I brought over friends who didn't grow up like me, they would see my house and ask me why I work. There are a lot of negative judgments made on you for being a rich kid, so you have to be careful about what you share. I always worked because I like work and I feel like I would be super depressed living off my parents with no purpose. I'm not complaining at all, just sharing my experience. I understand this. My parents are what most would call wealthy, but they made it very clear from an early age that I would work for anything I wanted. I had to make my own way. Looking back, I'm so glad they raised me that way. This is how my family is. My dad is top 1% and I never knew it until recently. I always worked for everything and helped pay for everything, including my college expenses. Very glad my father taught me about how important a good work ethic is. It's really cool having a room dedicated to one thing. I have a room dedicated to a bed. I call it my bedroom. They're posh. You think that's posh? You should see my bathroom. It fits my bath almost perfectly. You decadent pig. Even space for a toilet too. And, get this, a sink too. And I can almost open the door the whole way without hitting the toilet. Not super rich, but two things I've noticed. 1. Money is heavy. Might not apply for every country or job. But I once had to carry $1 million in cash. It was only a block, but my arms are soft at the end of it. 2. Instead of planning things, you just do them. Want to go to a fancy dinner? Okay, let's go. My friends are currently hanging out at a Caribbean island. Okay, I'll go join them. Yeah, I've noticed that planning isn't a huge thing. I don't think my family's poor. Rather probably on the upper side, but old habits die hard, and when I sometimes go out with richer friends they'll just drop money on meals without batting an eye, while I just cringe internally and look at the cheapest option, because I ain't paying $52 for a meal. Also, the obligatory backquote people who look at the menu versus people who look at the prices comment. I haven't so much as considered a bill in 5 years. Utilities, taxes, gas, food, insurance etc. There's never not more than enough. I toss in impulse buys at the grocery store and don't even hear the total at the checkout. Swipe. Paid for. I don't know what a full tank of gas costs for me because I never need to check. Fill. Swipe. Vroom. Even unexpected things. Examples from the last 6 months. Mom's vacuum broke. She gets a new one that day. Wife's car needs a service. Book it in. Carpet moisture damaged. Been wanting to have panels put in anyway. That's what I think we all hope to achieve for ourselves. The mental vacation from our wallet. Forever. I'm not wealthy, but I wonder what good dental care is like. Same. I don't know which to pick. The many leather-bound books, or the smell of rich mahogany. Middle-class book collector could certainly get a good collection of leather-bound books. Real mahogany is a lot more out of reach. I flew my bevy up to Nova Scotia to see a total eclipse of the sun. I heard you went up to Saratoga and your horse. Naturally. 1. Not that rich. But being able to buy practically whatever you want without having to check finances and not have to worry about payments is good. I'm at that threshold right now. Everything needed is paid for, and a good amount is being put into retirement. I have no idea what I'll do with a raise. I have an acquaintance whose father is filthy rich and the acquaintance took us to dad's casino in Vegas. With one phone call, we had brought to our suite a blackjack gaming table and a dealer, and also a portable kitchen and a chef who cooked us food to order. I ate bacon and eggs while doubling down on a 7-2-4 combination. Not rich by any means, but my job has given me many opportunities to fly across the world in business/first class and stay at world-class hotels. If I was rich, I would definitely pay the extra for that sense of luxury. Being able to sleep in a private suite and have a full open bar on a 16-hour flight is truly amazing. What job do you have? Owned also fellow Oscars player here, what's up, haha. I do consulting for a big 4 firm. A lot of consulting firms have policies that let you book business/first if your flight to a client is over a 5 to 8 hours. And nice. I haven't gotten to play for over a month now, since I got really bored doing a Fossil Island task. I really need to get back and catch up on the games. No XP waste, haha. Dragon Slayer 2 is coming out in early January. An excellent reason to jump back in. Fuck. I want to be rich so bad. Yep, this thread is depressing for us bottom feeders. I'm not rich, but I think I qualify as wealthy. What I value most, from the peak of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is not having to worry about money. I hate finance. I hate dealing with money. I love what money gets me, but otherwise, I really dislike having to deal with it. We have investment and bank accounts. I know the order of magnitude of the amount of money in each account, but I'm generally unclear about what the balance of features. Even to the most significant 10k, I reluctantly check the accounts every few weeks to make sure there's no fishy activity, but otherwise it's just a source of power for the credit card. While I don't buy whatever I want, I choose not to own any Patek Philippe. I buy most non-luxury impulse items without worrying about whether I can afford it. We don't have weekends where we sit down and go over bills. I come from a lower middle class family. I put myself through college by serving in the army, GI Bill, summer jobs, grants, and loans, and lived several years where I was turning the couch inside out for cigarette money. I hated it. Basically, I hate dealing with money so much, so that I worked myself into a salary situation where I don't have to. My investments and bank balance only ever increase month to month, and that's good enough for me. I've been exceedingly fortunate that my skills have been highly valued in this economy, and I'm eternally grateful for automatic bill pay. So, peace of mind, freedom from a tedious fact of life that most people have to deal with, freedom from that worry about being able to make ends meet, freedom from that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when you review your bank balance and see that it's less than you expected because you misjudged or because you bounced a check and got penalized, freedom from having to figure out you're going to make that $20 you pulled out of the ATM fee due for the week. By God, I love what money gets me, but I fucking hate managing finances. So, yeah, being able to afford to not have to worry about money. What do you do/have done to have achieved this financial status? Receiving 10 $0 checks. Yes, this is what rich kids receive for Christmas from each parent and each grandparent before their trust funds kick in. 10 $0 is near the maximum gift while avoiding gift taxes. If I recall correctly, it's $14,000 a year. That could possibly vary from state to state, though I'm really not certain as it's something I've only dealt with once. Close bracket. It's $14K now. $15K starting in 2018. You can also make unlimited gift payments to a medical provider or to an educational institution for tuition with no gift tax consequences. Just switched residences to Washington. Able to do $28,000 now. I can walk into a McDonald's, order soup, and they'll make it. Lucky, I can't even get soup in a soup kitchen. If you replied to this post, please send me $5. Thank you. And that is all.